Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thank you for joining me. If you're wondering what the title is about, you've seen Mrs. Wax Wizard's debut. I will get onto that in a bit. Some of you may have already seen it. I've released a video of her on the channel that you might enjoy, but I'll get into that in a minute. I'll tell you about these ears first, from what I can remember of them anyway. Before I do, speaking of remembering, before I do forget to do subscriber of the day. Subscriber of the day today is Carla W. Thank you very much, Carla, for your comment saying I want to be subscriber of the day. So congratulations, you are. And I really appreciate you as a subscriber. So thanks very much. If you want that to be you, then you know what you got to do. You've got to click a button wherever it is that says subscribe to the channel. And you might be in with a chance, but make sure if in that comment you leave the comment subscriber of the day, because that's how I find them when I'm searching for them. Anyway, this ear, I must have done this a few weeks ago actually, and I had to jog my memory. Some of it came back, not all of it, because when I save these procedures to me cloud up there, wherever it is. Where do these things go when you save them on a cloud? Where is it? I don't know. And I titled it Painful and Tough. I can see why I've entitled it Tough, because it does look tough. Lot of thick dead skin layers surrounding it and quite narrow. And I suspect that's probably why I've called it painful. I do remember bits of it now, and this is why I had to be quite gentle with this, because it's probably pushing on the because it impacted, and the ear canal is a little swollen around it, which makes it a bit trickier to get out. And it's kind of, when you have a plug like this that's growing, I don't think it's keratosis obturans, I just think it's a build up over the ears, and it's putting pressure on the ear canal, which can be incredibly painful. That said, looking at it again, you cannot rule out keratosis obturans. Which is a condition where the skin just fails to shed out the ear and you get this ever-growing ball of skin in there. But I don't think so. I've had to go down to the smaller tube ear for a couple of reasons. Quite a small ear to get in, and I'm quite close to the eardrum, but I don't know exactly where it is. I know it's very close, so I ideally don't like using a full-size tube that close to someone's eardrum, and I've already put some oil in. Wouldn't entertain any tools this deep in the ear, absolutely not. It's a long way down, so I think I'm just going to try and get to the top of it. And I can't, because of the angulation of the ear. This is why it's always difficult to get things from the roof of people's ear, unless they can really tilt the head that way. It's really difficult to get into the top part of someone's ear, because you've got the soft bit, the cartilage, kind of hanging down over it, so you've got to push that out of the way, which you can't see here because it's all behind the camera. What you can see, however, now is a tiny little glimpse of the eardrum. You might see there's a little pocket that's opened up. So now I've got a better idea of where I am. It's just above where the tube is at the moment, so you can't quite see it right now, but it definitely is there. I caught a little glimpse of it. And it is very impacted, this. I'm not sure this chap, it was a chap I think, had this done before. If he had, I suspect it was probably quite a long time ago, judging by the state of his ears. So what I'm trying to do is lift it up out of that inferior recess, that's the one at the bottom, and it starts to come a bit more easily then. Quite a large amount of hiding in recess. I did quickly have a glance through this. Narrow entrance, as you can see, as well, which adds to the problem. I think it was his second ear that I had a lot more trouble with, because of it's one of them that you see that can't be much, as you're mauling around in these nooks and crevices and hidden ditches and troughs. And then when it finally lifts up out of the recess, you're thinking, where did all that come from? It's one of them. So stay tuned for that. That is coming, I promise. And we're on to his second year now. Very soft at the entrance here. Again, way too soft and mushy to entertain any kind of tools. It would just spread it around like a butter on toast. And it is, yeah, it's very mushy. You can just see. It gets firmer the further back you go, and it's always because when someone's been softening it up with drops, it only usually soft for something this severely impacted anyway. It only softens the outer surface of it, and that's why. Right, so the title, what was that about? I'll get back to that. What was it again now? Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mrs. Wizard's debut. Now, she's been on some posts and pictures, but never actually appeared in a video. She's not appearing in this video. However, we have made a video. Some of you may have already seen it, but generally when I put a video of something up that's not earwax related, it doesn't get as many views. So that's why I sometimes have to mention it in one of these videos. So then I can point you in the direction of it, if you want to see it, that is. Look at this peel here. And as I mentioned in a few earlier videos that you may have seen, she's recently done a challenge, like a charity hike, not to be outdone by me doing the Great Manchester Run, which you may have seen. And so she decided to do 25 kilometres hiking in the Peak District, up and down hills. And she took along a bunch of friends, although she didn't know that. There was a bit of a surprise, so, which you'll enjoy watching in the video we made about it, the video she made about it, sorry. And her friends are funny. They're a really good bunch of girls. And so there is, at the end of this, you're going to see the eardrum, and then straight after the eardrum, I'll say try a bit before it, because it's going to go straight into like a 1 minute clip of a few highlights of the video that she made. And there'll also be a link to it in the description. If you're watching it on YouTube, there will be a card at the end as well, but there'll also be a link in the description down below, as there will in Facebook. TikTok, they don't like posting external links in the comments, so you'll just have to find it. And what's it called? Mrs. Wax Wizard's 25k challenge, something like that, if you want to search for it. But like I said, it's in the description in all those other platforms. And it's about 25 minutes of her and her mates hiking through the beautiful English countryside, and generally having a bit of a laugh as well, because they are all very, very silly people. London Spits, don't get me wrong, but they're as mad as a box of frogs, particularly one of them. So go and check that out if you're wondering what the missus gets up to. Right, that's enough about that. What else has been going on? Because I can't talk to you too much about this here, because you can watch what I'm doing. It's very similar to the other, just a bit more difficult. It's a bit more impacted and a lot more reluctant to come up the tube. And again, too soft for tools in there, and difficult spots to get to. So you're just gonna have to bear with it while I mull about with it. What else? Oh, some eagle-eyed viewers spotted that, yes, I have got some new spectacles. I think I've done about 4 or 5 videos with these on, and then somebody pointed out, hang on a minute, you got some new spectacles on? Yes, I have. And for those watching across the pond, they're glasses. They're not eyeglasses. You don't need to say that they're for your eyes. It's pretty obvious. Why is that? Why do you call them eyeglasses? They're just glasses. You don't need to tell you where to put them. It's pretty obvious. You'd be like, oh, I've got these. I don't know what to do with them. Where shall I put them? I know, put them on my head. They're called eyeglasses, are they? Oh, right, I'll put them on my eyes then. I don't get that. And so I can see you all better now. So, and yes, I am slightly more blind than my last test. Great getting older, isn't it? What else? Oh, we've had a lovely fun weekend. Some of you may have seen this in a post, actually. It would have been about a month ago because I record these way in advance. But any posts I put up as and when it happens. This weekend, in fact, yesterday it was, we went to a theme park. And thinking, well, that's no big deal. Lots of people go to theme parks all the time. Well, it was a big deal for us because, as you know, if you've been following the story of what's been happening with my daughter, she's not been allowed to go to theme parks until we found out more about her heart condition. And so as soon as we got the all clear, we went straight away because she's always loved a roller coaster, but then she's not been allowed on one. And so we went on all of them. We went to there's a few really great theme parks here in the UK, and we went to the one it's not nearest to us. The one nearest to us is Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and that's good too. But we went to one called Alton Towers, which has a load of big scary rides on it, and she really enjoyed going on them. And yeah, a very happy little girl to be able to finally get back on them. Although she was slightly papping herself a few times because it's the first time she's been on one that took her upside down, and I know that's always a big deal when you do that. And but yeah, they both have a go at anything. My two youngest, not scared of anything, completely fearless. I don't mind them personally either. I love a roller coaster, and I'll go on the biggest, scariest, longest, highest, twirliest, upside downest roller coaster there is. You'll never get me on a waltzer. I just can't do them. Some people might be like this. If there's anything that's spinny, I just can't go on it. It just makes me feel incredibly nauseous. I can't get. Which they make fun of me for being able to go on these massive roller coasters. Yet you can't go on a waltzer. But yeah, it just reacts really badly. Obviously, with my inner ears, they must be particularly sensitive to being spun around. So yeah, I can't do it. Anyway, you can see a bit of the eardrum being revealed here. And I might be making it look a bit harder than you think it might be, but it's tough stuff. It's thick and it's sticky and it's compacted and it's tough stuff, and it's a long way in, and it's quite difficult to get a grip of this stuff. And it's lovely how it comes away though. You've just got to wait for it. I'm going to try and peel it away from the edge there. I'm not sure if they were poking things in their ears, to be honest. It just looks suspicious that you get one this full all the way down there. So, possibly. But like I said before, it's quite a while since I recorded this procedure. I can't really remember too much about it. But I'm just trying to find where the key to this is. It's like... I've heard Neil describing it this way, like a game of Jenga, with the wooden blocks that you stack up and you pull one out, and if you pull the wrong one out, the whole thing topples. And it's a very good analogy of his, so I'm going to steal that. It's a very good analogy for earwax removal. You've got to find the piece that is the key to it all. And I think it's this piece down here at the bottom, in the inferior recess, your inferior anterior. And as soon as I can lift that up, it'll all pop out, and you're like, holy moly, where's all that come from? Because he still, although we can see almost half the eardrum, he still couldn't hear very well here. And it was only when this came out. I think you might be able to hear it in the background noises, obviously, record the audio. And I can't remember what he said now, but it's either an oh my god or oh good grief. Or it might be something a bit more colourful than that. I'll have to listen back to this before I post it, just to make sure it's nothing too blue. Oh, yeah. And up it comes, and at this point I remember saying to myself, oh please, I'll come in one go. Please, I'll come in one go, so I don't have to go back down there again. And that's why I'm pulling it out really slowly. I just lost grip. Heavens. So I think I went in, I swapped my tubes at this point and got a bigger one. Now we're a lot further away from the eardrum. That's absolutely fine to do that. Yeah. You've definitely got your dad's. So in will come a bigger one. Where is she? There she is. Get a grip a bit further back and pull it forward and keep praying that it's all come together in one piece. I think it does. Or does it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to say my Taraz now because after this actually, one more bit. Like I said, after you're going to see the eardrum, it'll take you straight to the highlights of the video I made with all the footage that my wife gave me. Nearly wore out my bleep button. There was that much swearing in it too, but there's a good reason for that. And if you watch the video, you'll understand. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.
Go on, tell her like you mean it.
You, Carrie.
Oh, just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to love at your door.
Did you hear about the actor who fell through the floorboards? Did you hear about him, Lou? He was just going through a stage.
Oh,
Now this is why you walk.
right, now you need to like take in the view.
Following the leader, follow the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Say it, Carrie. You don't need to pull your chins in.
I'll brush them out.
We're gonna be two hearts running wild.